This is Aneesh. He worked with me at Venmo. Do you want to say a few words about yourself, Anish?
I've worked with these guys at Figma for a little bit as an intern and a little bit after college. I work as a graphic designer and kind of flying a little blind on this. I don't know what's about to get thrown at me, but um, super excited. I've known Andrew for a while, and yeah.
Yeah, nothing too crazy is going to get thrown at you, I promise. Yeah. Do you want to give a promotional blurb about your consultancy or whatever?
It's all good. Yeah, I mean, if people want to find me. I don't really have anything. I work at Forge. I got forge.coop is our site. I have to design, um, build sites, and help people make cool stuff.
Yeah, so okay, the context is I know some stuff on my website I wanted to clean up, and I don't know, maybe a year or two ago, I was at this design. It was a lunch and learn, I guess, at one of our friends' companies, where Niche walked through a bunch of kind of, I don't know, layout, grid, design 101 type of stuff. And I feel like I could use a little bit of help with some of that stuff myself. And I just want to record it so I can go back to it later and maybe share it with some other people. All right, so I'm going to share my screen now, Anish. I think I'll do window. Let's see. Okay. Can you see my screen, Anish?
Yeah, I can.
What's your email address on? Oh, I mean, I could always edit this.
Anish.
Yeah.
Dot Boobathy at Gmail.
How do you spell your last name? BH?
BHOOPATHY.
Yeah. Cool. Okay. I think I saved that with you.
Awesome.
Did you get a invite? Oh, drafts can't be edited by others. Hang on, dude. Hang on. That's why.
Oh yeah.
Oh shit. Starter limit reached. 3 files, 1 page, 1 project. All right, let me just put this in another project. Hang on. I have to move this.
If that doesn't work, I think I could probably create a file and you could paste stuff into there. We'll try this out.
There we go. Okay. Cool. I'll just kind of show you what I got, what the task is. So this is just like my homepage, and I have like a bunch of essays I've written here, and then also like some short films I've worked on. And I kind of made these thumbnails for Vimeo. I just whipped them up so they look decent, kind of in isolation on Vimeo. But then when I was looking at like all these here together, I was like, these could probably look a little aligned. Like everything in these, all the text in these thumbnails could probably look a little more aligned and consistent here. And so I was just kind of hoping to like, I don't know, establish some sort of like grid I could use when I'm creating a thumbnail like this, so that it both looks good on Vimeo and looks good if I put it on my website here. And there's some like, I don't know, there's definitely some curveball type of stuff. Like you see this like Lost Gloves one, I kind of put it across this like line of cement at the top. Or like, like in some of these, like there's probably places where the text can't go, but maybe that could be addressed just with like the text treatment, or if there's say there's like four spots the text could go, like top left, top right, bottom left.
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully, at least
Mm-hmm.
I can choose a still frame where at least one of them works. But I mean, even things like, oh, this like telling Metro stories doesn't line up with this civilization noir down here. That seems like it would look better if they were lined up.
Right, right, right.
Anyway, so that's like the kind of basic gist of what I got going
Uh,
on. And so like, oh, and then there's one other task too that would be like a extra credit. I also like for some of these websites, you can make it 11 by 17 poster. Uh,
mm-hmm.
and it might be nice to just have like a template for that. But really, like the main thing is like make this little section of the website
Mm-hmm.
look.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think I have. Um, yeah, here are all like the dimensions of like this is the poster thing, which is kind of extra credit. But then the main thing is these 16 by 9 thumbnails, and I have all the kind of assets that I used uh, in here. Um, yeah. So I just kind of brained up a bunch of stuff, but does that? I don't know.
Yeah. So do they on Vimeo? You provide a thumbnail that's not a still frame, like a separate image. Is
Yeah,
that right?
you can pick it. You can pick it. I usually just pick it out of the film itself, but you could. Well, actually, what I do is usually I grab a still frame from the video itself, and then bring it into Figma, and then put the text overlay so the title's on it, so that the thumbnail also says the title.
Mm-hmm. So you just sort of do that manually. So you don't need to. You're not trying to make a title card that goes back into the movie. It's just
No,
like a
no,
separate asset,
no.
right?
But I
Got it.
would probably use this same language for the title card in the movie potentially,
Mm-hmm.
like if it is an actual frame. Oh, and the one other thing is I do this civilization noir thing is kind of older, but for like all the stuff since then, I just kind of picked out this like font family that I like.
I was gonna ask,
Because
yeah.
I noticed a bunch of the I don't know, like a handful of people, like directors that I follow, they have kind of a go-to font that they use for everything. That's like their signature font, like John Carpenter, for example. It's
Mm-hmm.
a John Carpenter film, or like the credits roll, and it's always the same distinctive font. And it's not even that good of a font, but you just see it, and
Well,
it's
it's just
a little
his, yeah.
it triggers some
Okay, yeah. He's got
neurons or
that
whatever.
that
Um,
vibe for sure. Yeah. This is yeah.
yeah. Um, anyway, so and I found one on Google. I like kind of looked through a bunch of things on Google Fonts, and I picked one that was kind of a vibe. Like I like the way this Helvetica looks, but it's just kind of you know, it's just Helvetica to me is like looks good but says really nothing. This one's a little more fun, you know.
Mm-hmm. It
Uh,
is the
what's that?
Zen Gothic something.
Mm.
Is that
Oh
right?
wait, yeah, this is Zenkaku. It's yeah Zenkaku Gothic Antique. Yeah.
Oh, that's tight. I don't even need to download it. I think I can just mess with it. Oh, nice. Cool. And then where else is this? I'm looking at the sort of constraint above. Like, is there? As you mentioned, there's some other places that these live. Like, is it primarily these Vimeo dimensions, or is there some
Well, I
other?
guess like let's just go and see like if we look at my Vimeo page. I'm not all these are gonna show up, but like one or two of them might. So like here, like this one, I'll put it.
I think I'm just looking at your
Oh
Figma.
shit, I put it. Yeah, I did this in a new tab. Hang on. Let me just share desktop. Just so if I do that, you can see it. Uh, but like here, like it would like show up on my Vimeo page, or like if we go to Vimeo.com, well, maybe not Vimeo.com, but I don't know. Browse videos by staff picks. right? Like it could show up here, right? Uh, so like maybe this is something to note. Like you see how like if you get staff pick, they seem to always put the see how they overlay this staff pick laurel on the top.
Yeah, yeah.
So like maybe it's worth staying away from the top left, you know?
Yeah, I
Um,
think I've seen it even bigger than that on um
maybe if we click through to one of these, let's just see.
yeah, like
There's,
that. There's
there's
or
another
if
view.
you go on someone's like page, you could see it kind of like taken up.
Oh, this guy's great, Kogonada.
Yeah, I love his
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, see, and this is interesting. Look at how this is a different, I guess, see how this is a different aspect ratio? That's kind of an interesting. I don't quite understand how that's happening, but
Which
maybe
one?
see this this how this Wes
Oh,
Anderson one?
hmm
It's I guess this just might be it just must be letterboxed with white in the actual video itself, but um, but they do. I mean, we probably don't have to worry about this, but he see how it rounds the corners a little bit too on when Vimeo shows it.
oh yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know. This staff pick thing is probably something to be aware of. You know, like kind of
Yeah,
like maybe like blocking out where that goes, and then just kind of setting up a grid of like, all right, we're
yeah.
going to be putting the title of the movie on a frame. Here are like the different places it could go.
hmm
Yeah.
And is it anywhere outside of Vimeo, like on another platform or anything that
I
has
would put it on
been?
YouTube too, potentially.
Do
Um,
they have the same kind of asset needs, or is there
let's just see. Let me just Google search thumbnail size. What's 1280? That's 16 by 9, right? 1.77.
yeah. hmm
Yeah. Yeah. YouTube, I think I would probably just optimize for it looking good on the website and like maybe take into account this Vimeo Laurel thing a little bit and
hmm
just use that same thing on YouTube and not worry too much
Right. Okay.
conforming to like YouTube nuances.
Yeah, awesome. Um yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So the big thing it seems to be the primary thumbnail, 16:9.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
like yeah, and like just yeah, what's the appropriate grid? And so like I don't even know like where does it make sense to start with this? Like, do we just go into this like kind of screenshot of the website and draw a grid over it, to kind of like rough it in, or do we just like draw it as like, boxes and lines somewhere? And
Yeah.
also, the thing I'm curious about too is I kind of want to see how you set up the grid in Figma. Like, are you? I
hmm
feel like there were some tricks to that in your lunch and learn that I don't quite remember, but that's also kind of interesting to me. It's just learning like the workflow in Figma for this.
Yeah, for sure. That makes sense. Does it make sense for me to kind of screen share so you can see what's
Yeah, I mean, I'm just watching. Well, I guess yeah.
okay? You'd be able to see what
No,
I do.
you screen share because I see your mouse cursor, but I want to see you using the UI. That's a good call.
Um,
Sweet. All right, let me. I think I'm gonna change my layout too, because I don't really need to see your face. Yeah, this is bigger, and then I'm at full screen also. Sick. Okay. Actually, there's one more asset I need to bring in here for you. Let me just do that before we get fully started. Downloads. Where is this? Hmm. Yeah. Okay, let me bring these over here. Cool. All right. So you're just trying to get a sense of what these grids look like on Vimeo?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. So I'm gonna put these here. Um, yeah, so what I'll do is are you all set up? Are you
Yeah, I'm watching now. Yep.
okay? Um, yeah, I'm gonna see what some of these boards look like
Hmm.
just to get a feel for them. Um, so let's see. They might
Okay,
have
it's a quick technical question. When you made that frame, is that just a rectangle or is that like a different type of object in Vimeo?
yeah, and if you
Uh,
hit this thing frame, it's F.
okay.
So yes, sorry if I use a hotkey. You just call
Yeah.
me out. What was that? So sometimes for certain stuff they'll have presets once
Oh, cool.
you tap into that. Um, doesn't look like they have one for this, so I just made one and I'm gonna resize it.
Okay. And that's you just know that's like a common 16 by 9 pixel aspect
I'm
ratio.
no, I'm going
Oh,
off this thing here.
cool. Cool,
Yep,
cool, cool. Great.
yep. And what I'll sometimes do, so let's see. I'll just see what this looks like. Let's call this video.
And is there a hotkey you use to rename?
What does it? Yeah, Command R there.
Okay.
Um, so here's a thing that is worth considering sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, if you're going to be exporting assets of different sizes but the same thing,
Mm-hmm.
you could use the same frame, but down when you're exporting, export it by putting a couple different versions here.
Yeah.
So you could try to get yeah, I'm gonna lay some of these other frames down and then see what we end up at and see what makes sense with like
Okay.
your asset sizes, and then we can go from there. So we might not need all of these, but it's good to just see what they look like. Um, this one's like square. Featured looks thinner. Oops. Okay, so this is what we're working with here. And if I was kind of working with this, like one approach could be to start with the square
Mm-hmm.
and then like define safe zones off that and create an asset that kind of works everywhere. I think since we're really trying to dial into the thumbnail,
Mm-hmm.
it might make more sense to start there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I agree with that. That's my sense. And then like, the probably my workflow would be if we get the Vimeo thumbnail 16 by 9 looking good,
Mm-hmm.
I would just take a 9 by 9 out of that.
Gotcha.
It would
Yeah.
either be from the right side or left side, basically, you know? Uh,
Mm-hmm.
and then maybe, I don't know, you could imagine a scenario where, oh, you have to like change the framing of the image and then that throws off where the text is at. But honestly, I'm not super worried about optimizing for the square ones because I'm probably just not gonna. The reality is, I'm probably not gonna like invest too much time in the square ones.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Okay. So I'm thinking maybe we start with something of this size and export it bigger, just because that seems more kind of the size of the assets we have. Um,
No, is that is that some of these assets are actually quite big in the original. Like, see that pinkish? Yeah. What's the pixels of that one? Hmm. That's
yeah.
interesting. Okay.
So on export,
Yeah.
Figma will use the maximum dimensions
Okay.
of this, even if
Okay.
it's scaled down. It's not
Okay.
like rasterizing that at all.
Okay. So we're not losing fidelity if we
We won't be, no.
Okay, cool.
The only thing is Figma does have a maximum file size on upload, but if
Yeah.
as long as you have what you have on there, it should be good.
Oh, no. Dude, pro tip for you. Have you ever heard of Tiny JPG?
No.
It's a sweet little, web service where say you have a JPEG that's, like, 15 megabytes large,
Hmm.
there's, like, a little command line script you can run on it, and it'll compress it and just keep the image so it looks pretty much exactly the same and get it to, like, 500K.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's really sick. Like if I'm making a PowerPoint or like pretty much anything, like doing anything on my website,
Yeah.
um, they have a little web tool, and then they also have an API. And I have a little script on my computer where I can like take a file on the command line, run it through that, and get back a tiny version. And it's if you're paying for
Awesome.
your
Like,
web server, it's a
yeah,
where
that's
you
good
just move
idea.
shit fast. It's great.
Hmm.
All right. That's just an aside.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so let's just start off with like a thumbnail that we like here. Do you have one in mind?
Let's do okay. Here. I think we should either start with Super Diva or Lost Gloves. Because the thing with Lost Gloves is kind of an oddball because it has that sort of constraint with the image in the background, where the font really looks the best, I think, in the top. But I don't know. So
Yep.
either we start with the oddball one, or we do like a more normal one first, and then figure out how to fit the oddball one into that. Um, I don't I don't know if you have an idea which one would be easier, but that's just like I don't know, a note.
Yeah, okay. I like that. Let's try that out. I'm gonna grab all this. Um, yeah, actually, probably does make sense to start with this finger size, huh?
Yeah, this I think the usually the I mean at least with the main actually even with my iPhone, I'm usually shooting at 4K. So
Mm-hmm. So there's a helpful thing in Figma. If you hit K, it gives you this scale
oh.
uh, dialog, and rather than a normal resize, it helps kind of everything scale. So if you have any kind of drop
Oh,
shadows or effects or images, um, yeah.
cool.
So let's see what that looks like. Okay, cool. Um, so here's what I like to do now, trying to figure this stuff out. Just grab an artboard with kind of some of the places that we want to see this thing. Um, and turn this into a component so that what that does is makes this the like source of truth for all the instances of
Oh,
these.
cool.
So
Wait, how did you make it into a component again? Can you reshow me that?
yeah, I think you could do it object, where is it? Create component
Oh,
here.
okay.
You
Cool,
could
cool,
also
cool.
right click.
Okay,
Um,
sick.
so I'm gonna let's see, what's this about? These don't have to be perfect. It's just trying to get a sense of stuff. So I'm gonna scale this down to
hmm
this. Oops, here's the scale. 476. Um, Maybe I want to get some of that corner rounding, so we
hmm
know not to.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, how did you do that? That was cool.
that is the opacity you could just set with the number keys.
Oh, sick. Okay, that's very cool. I love that because you can see the outline still. That's sick.
Yeah, and let's say we want to just grab this badge really quick,
hmm
so we can have that mocked up. Um, just gonna grab that.
And okay, when you did that, you centered it, and then did you hold some sort of hotkey when you dragged it out to keep it centered?
Why did I do that? Yeah, I did alt,
Okay,
um,
cool.
and then I'm just gonna make a mask out of that little circle,
Sick.
which is just, yeah, right click, use mask. Let's put that on there.
Tight.
Yeah. And sometimes if I'm doing this for um like a client, I'll actually just try to like mock up this text too, and
I see.
if I want to, so you could just like throw a
Mhm.
rectangle of it above it and then write out what you want. Um, so that's one kind of safe zone we're aware of. Like,
Yeah.
let's kind of do the same thing on one of these maybe.
Cool.
Um,
Oh, I see. And you made a separate copy of the component for that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so these are now both instances.
Yep.
Let's just make them. I'm going to use scale just to bring them up
Yep.
to our kind of working size. So now we have kind of some concept of what these like safe zones are.
Yeah.
Um, so here you could get this layout grid.
Uh huh.
You can
Oh.
mess with this. I like to use, instead of this normal grid, I like to dial into the columns and rows
Okay.
because they let you get a little more custom with what you want.
Yeah.
Bring this up a little bit. Like, I think maybe it makes sense to have just call like, let me think. So it's kind of like we need a, instead before we do the grid, because the grid is more of how we lay out content thing.
Mhm.
I think maybe we could make like what I'm kind of thinking of as two kind of boxes for safe zones. Like
Yeah.
if
Okay.
there's anything critical in an image, here's our safe zone for that. And then if there's text, like here's our safe zone for that. And so do we want to consider any of the other kind of like do we want to kind of mock this box up in any other context to kind of check that out?
Well, I mean, I guess let's just do one with my website, which is not as important, when we're just looking at this guy in isolation. But then when we kind of do our final check at the end, like we want the everything to kind of like look good in that. So
Mm-hmm.
maybe we should do one more.
Yeah. What's your URL again?
Cortina.nyc.
Um, okay, so there's nothing on hover. Um, I think so. This stuff only shows up. No, this is part of the image, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
I mean, maybe we make a safe zone for that actually, because I like, um, I kind of got lazy with the two most recent ones. I mean, it definitely looks cleaner without the little Vimeo player Chrome there. But the one thing I like about the Vimeo player Chrome is it makes it very clear this is a video. So maybe we make safe zones for the little like bottom scrubber and in case I don't know. I think the output of
yeah.
this exercise will probably do without the play button Chrome. Or we could throw that. We could.
We could make like a button, sort of a part of the thumbnail that has the play button. Um,
Yeah, yeah. It's just interesting to think about. Even I was gonna say like, oh, maybe we show that Chrome, like we just kind of overlay something on hover. But what's kind of nice about it not on hover is even without hovering over it, that it's a
but
video, and also there's no hover on mobile.
hmm
Um, so maybe it is. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like we should make the safe zones at the very least for that Chrome.
yeah, that makes sense. So let's
We
see.
might want to get that Chrome from the actual Vimeo website because see how it's like different on the two videos there. Oh,
Yeah. Um,
oh yeah, just get it from here. That's a good call.
Having a hard time seeing what the border is on that. Yeah. Oops.
Oh yeah, see, this is interesting. Yeah, it is hard to see the because it's like a letterboxed still frame, I guess.
Yeah. Um, you get a general sense of where stuff is here. I'm gonna grab our instance.
Oh, is there a? It looks like there's a 1 pixel white on the top of that. Does it? Oh, no.
Yeah, I think so. Yep. Cool. Okay. So these are where we kind of want to see this thing work. Um, so now stuff
Oh,
we do here is kind of reflected there, which
yeah.
is great. Um, so since we're not doing any other kind of crops with this one, it might just be best in our working thing to just know where certain things are
Yeah.
as our
Okay.
guides.
Okay.
Like I'm thinking,
Cool. Ooh, good attention to detail there. Sick. Dude, that's why you're awesome, dude. Going with the dash line for that. Great move.
trying to think of what colors gonna work for us on different. Sometimes they gotta go light and then put a little shadow on something.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna help. Okay. So yeah, if we're avoiding this one, we're gonna avoid the smaller one.
Yep. Yep.
And then we
Okay.
wanna
What was the hotkey for that?
um what is it? Command Alt C copies the settings from this.
Okay.
So it copies all the fills and strokes and effects and everything.
Yep.
You can apply that to something else.
With Command Alt V.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm gonna put these two in a group. That's Command G
Okay.
and lock them here.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then since they're in a group, now we can just turn them on and off, like
Right.
whatever.
Cool.
Yeah. So before we try to like hone in on this, I'm gonna make kind of give us a framework to work with another one, just so we can consider them
Yeah.
both as we're going.
Cool.
So the cool thing about these components is you could make like variants
Oh.
of them.
Cool.
Um, so sometimes, yeah, that's helpful. So we'll call this one Super Diva. Okay, so do we want to try to grab something like what you have right now for this, or
Yeah, yeah.
are these the same, or are they
Uh,
different?
I think so. I would just get the one that looks less cropped, maybe.
That might be this one.
Yeah.
Get rid of this guy. Select this, paste into it. Um, so you can either now that you have this set up as a variant, you can
Mhm.
go in here, and when
Oh,
you select the instance, it lets you change between them.
all right. That's dope.
Uh, yeah,
This is so fun to watch.
yeah,
I mean, I love this type of content or whatever. Just
yeah. The
little
regular,
professional tools. It's
yeah.
it's such a good way to learn.
Um, okay, so this is looking cool. I think. Where should we go next? Should we?
Should we just do the other two
Yeah,
things, like just get them all set up, and then um,
yeah, that's a great idea. Um, so what do you want to grab like this?
yeah, nice. Oh, there's two. There's this one, and then there's one more also. There's the one
Oh,
down this way.
gotcha.
Yeah.
Is it this still, or do we want one without text?
I think that's a. Oh, is that burned in?
I think so on this one. Yeah.
Oh shit. Hang on. Let me see if I have. Let me see if I can find that. The one of those that doesn't have that burned in.
Mm-hmm.
Hang on, give me 1 second. I just have to export that from Resolve.
Yep.
I think the last one is probably separate uh, images if you want to grab that one.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, and I put the new guy in there. Yeah, cool. Hmm. Can you show that again? What was that hotkey you used to like center that thing down?
What did I do here? I did this. I think I hit this
Oh,
align top, where if you just have one thing selected, automatically will. Oh no, that's not right. Did I just snap it in there?
yeah, it looked like you hit a button to snap it to the set. I don't know. It was cool. It looked like you were going. Maybe it was not a keyboard
Yeah,
shortcut. Oh yeah.
might have. Yeah, it might have been this.
Okay. Cool.
Okay, and I'm realizing there's a one problem with our little scaffold here is we could actually now these guides actually operate independently because they're part of the instance, which is maybe
Oh,
not what we want.
okay.
So maybe I'll you know um make a component of that just so
Okay.
that could be helpful with our grid. So I'm gonna make one that's like just the kind of guides overlay, we'll call it.
Okay.
Um, that's a component. I'm gonna get rid of these guides.
Okay.
And then you should be able to select them all and paste at once.
Oh,
Yes.
sick. That was cool.
Yeah. Um, so that's a better setup because now they're all connected. And
Awesome.
it's also nice because we could turn off the guides in just one place now.
Oh yeah.
So,
Hell yeah.
all right, cool. So,
Oh, for the sorry, for the guy holding the letter, there's a different I think there's a different still. Were there two for that one?
yeah,
Yeah, use the him blowing on the piece of paper.
okay.
Yeah.
If we have five, then maybe we'll just do it all in one. Pretend this is kind of your profile.
Yeah. Right. That's fine. If I feel like if it looks good here, it's gonna also look good on my website.
Oh, I see it's 4 up. Okay. Yeah, so we could use this as our kind of workspace,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna go in and set them to the different variants
Yep.
real quick. And name that one. What's the name of that song?
Civilization Noir.
right, cool. Yeah. I wonder, what do you think of, like, does it make sense to sort of standardize the, like, if you're going to go full bleed,
Yeah,
what, like
I don't
on all,
mind. I don't mind always going. Let me just go quickly look at the Vimeo staff picks page. Um, let's just see kind of what the convention is, if there is like a convention on Vimeo for that. I get to like watch uh, staff pick. Let's go full bleed. That looks like predominant. Like almost everything I see on the staff picks page, except for one thing, has no letterboxing.
hmm
So let's just say we're gonna. I will kind of manually scale up the frame to be full bleed always. I think that'll look better anyway.
yeah, I think so. They're all kind of standard. Yeah, cool.
For Super Diva, let's bump her towards the left. I think we have some room to bump her towards like the left third a little bit. You know, like
Oh, yeah,
keep her the same size, but just drag the image. You know, like more. Yeah, yeah. Get her on this sort of like a little bit more. Yeah, yeah. There we go. Cool.
gotcha. Cool. What should we take a look at now?
Um, should we try to set up a grid where we can like have options to put the text in
Hmm.
different places?
Yeah, that sounds cool. So
And that
we're
we just do on our master component, or like where? How does that work? Or do we make another component that's another grid overlay? Or
you could do it a couple different ways. If you're trying to do something fairly standard,
yeah,
then maybe yeah, this is just the overlay,
okay,
and
yeah,
it has
we just do it in like a different color or something. Dotted line.
yeah,
Okay,
um,
cool.
and it's um, you can still customize stuff in the instances like a fair amount.
Right,
It'll set it up as like um, an override.
I see.
And then if you go into here, you can kind of see what is overridden and
Oh,
reset
cool,
stuff.
cool. Yeah, because like for
So,
example, that Civilization Noir one sort of like predates me finding this font. It's like I'll probably change. I'll probably keep the Helvetica for that one.
mhm.
Override it. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean, you could even have the text in the different places you want and just toggle them off here.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Another way of doing it.
Yeah. Whatever you would do. Whatever you think is like a gonna set things up for me to just like come in here, duplicate something, and type something basically. Like
Gotcha.
that's the kind of workflow I want. Like come in, make a
Hmm.
duplicate of something, type the new title, move around the image a little bit, and then export.
Right. I wonder if then it makes sense to not have the text in here, but just
Yeah.
have a guide in here, and then
Yeah.
keep the text in the kids in the
Yeah.
instances.
Yeah. That's
Um,
cool.
so let's see. I wonder if does this layout grid? Yes,
Sick.
nice. So the layout grid in this component will show up everywhere.
Okay.
Um, So this, yeah, it's really just kind of what feels right for what you're doing. There's no defined um, rules here, but I think maybe something I'm thinking where that second column is. Let's see. So, one sec. I got an alarm. I gotta turn off. I'll be right back.
Yep.
All right.
So you're saying that what were you saying about the second column? You wanted to like line up?
Yeah, I was thinking maybe that second column could be outside of where this badge is,
Yeah, got you.
but yeah, still have that column in case down here you want to work with something.
Yeah, right.
All right, so maybe that's, yeah. I'll see how this works for us. Let's see, how do you?
And so just actually one quick question before we pop in the text. Does if you look at the Vimeo thing to the left, yeah. So look at the bottom, like the telling mattresses story one on the bottom left, where it says like Weyabozu. So would the first, like, say we were aligning the text to the bottom left corner, would it be in that like dark red one that starts kind of halfway through Ozu?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, but I'm wondering why it looks a little
It
jacked
looks
up, doesn't
different,
it?
right? Yeah.
Yeah, it does. Hmm, interesting. Is that a thing with their scaling here? Is this sized down? Okay, it's fine there.
Yeah, because it looks, yeah, it's definitely different. Like in the one that you set up, it starts like almost.
Oh yeah. So those don't use the normal scaling.
Oh,
Um, Interesting.
okay.
So
What if we just scale up our? Well, maybe that's not a good idea. I don't know. Yeah.
percentage there. Um, we could, since the column itself are, we could just not use margins and just set that as a column. I'm not sure. Um,
Okay.
yeah, that should be lined up now. Do we like that, or because the other thing would just be to make shapes. Um,
Well, I liked where the first piece of content started in the bottom left, where it was kind of
Defined.
25% of the way through the staff pick circle, if that makes sense. Like if you start from the staff pick circle, there was like the first piece of, yeah, that actually looked closer to uh, like the second column border started like a little bit further left, I think. Like maybe, I don't know. Uh, yeah, something like that. Yeah. Hmm. So let me just draw a line here and show you where I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Like I liked how. Oh wait, I'm not. I'm trying to like click on the screen share. Um, I feel like this. How do I choose the thickness of this? Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah, I feel like there was like a. If we looked at where the text would start in the bottom left, it was kind of like on this line,
Okay.
you know.
Hmm.
It's like that, and which would be, I guess, the start of either column two or it was like column one when you had the margin, and I guess it would be column two if you're doing the version of this that uses only columns and not margins.
Okay. Hmm.
That makes
So
sense.
what? Yeah, I'm gonna go back to where we were then, and
Okay.
let's.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Was it this?
Yeah, I mean, look at where that lines up. I almost got it
Oh
exactly.
yeah. Wow. Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, but since their guides don't scale right, we could just make our own real quick.
Okay.
I'll just do them in a different color for now.
Oh, I see.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are gonna fill their container, and they're gonna fill their container vertically too.
Cool.
And then an auto layout. This I'm gonna make. I think it was 12. We'll see what that looks like, and try to position these.
Oh, cool. Oh, so these are the rows. Sick.
Okay, so yeah, it looks like those scale properly. Um, did like lemon red, and then gonna bring down the opacity there. All right, so
Tight.
I'm gonna group these and call these grid over here, so we can do the same thing where we just turn them off and all in
Sick.
one place.
Okay. Yeah, that was tight. That's kind of interesting that the Figma grid doesn't.
The guides don't scale properly. Yeah, that's weird.
Submit a bug report about that. Can you think of like you know way more about this software than I do? Is there a reason why they would like intentionally have it set up the way it is? Is it just like our use case is not the
I
most
think it's I think it's more that this use case is not the most common.
okay?
Um,
This is kind of sick, dude.
yeah, I'm gonna grab some text. Let's yeah. So I think was this the one we were saying that might not need to be right on the grid because it's more constrained by the.
Yeah, I mean, if we can get it on the grid, that's great. But I mean, maybe we just go all the way the top. I guess we could align it to that. Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious to see how you would do this one given the constraints. And the idea is you want to align this stuff. Actually, can you align left or right with this? Like if you align left, it would be to the bottom left corner of one of the grid boxes. If you align right, it would be to the bottom right corner of one of the grid boxes. Is that right?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mhm.
Cool.
So we could also mess with, I don't know if it makes sense to like get the image to conform to where we want it to be
Oh yeah.
also.
Yeah, we could do that. I mean, there's some. Yeah, this is cool. And also, like, how do you? Oh, I see. You have a guide on the top. So you want the what do you call those risers? Like the L, the see those L's, like the tallest letters? You want
Hmm.
those to do you want those to roughly fill the grid row? Or like, how do I think about
Oh, I got you.
text here?
It's it's not really hard and fast. It's
Okay. Okay.
especially for text.
Okay.
I think it just helps to keep the baselines consistent if
Okay.
you're gonna go with the top. The thing is, the more predictable height marker for most fonts is actually like the cap height, which is
Oh, I see.
in this case kind of close to what that X is, but not
Yeah.
always the case.
Okay.
But if you go off the bottom of
Yeah.
the lower cases, then you're usually pretty set.
Okay. Cool.
So let's just see what this looks like in our um, thing. Did that not show up? Is that not in the frame? No. So right here, it's just sitting,
Oh, I see.
not in there.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna Command exit, select our guy, and put
Yeah.
it back in there. And then, yeah. So that's chill. It could be a little bigger, maybe, right?
Yeah, I think a little bigger. There's just something the other weird thing with this is that stick is like that's kinda on the end of the O. So I
Uh-huh.
agree. I think going up a little bit in size might help with that in the font size.
Maybe something like this is better. I don't really need that many rows. So are we concerned that the stick is kind of like in the way a little bit?
Yeah, I mean,
Like,
just visually that like the vertical line of the stick kinda, I don't know, makes it a little bit harder to read, I think. Yeah, that might be better. Yeah. Yeah, it makes it a little the thing with it is it makes it look almost like an A just because of the way
mhm.
it lines up on the O, I think. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Oh, yeah, see, that's a good edit. Okay, that looks great now. Although, maybe scale up slightly more to get that, clear plastic bag out of the bottom left. Yeah, that might be the move. And then come down a little bit with it to then we can, turn the grid back on, and then we can get that cement block to line up with our green grid row bottom.
Oh, I got you. Yeah. Oh, is this? I think I need to lock this because I keep selecting it. Let's see. Yeah.
Yeah, let's see how that. Yeah, bump it up a hair just to get a little bit of room around that bottle cap at the bottom. Yeah. Nice. Hmm. Yeah. Okay. This is looking pretty good.
There's also like an 80% opacity on this white. Do we want to keep that?
What do you think? You wanna what would you do with it? Yeah. I think I
Um,
don't remember why I was doing that, but
let's see what our option. I'm a little. It's getting a little lost to me, which is
yeah.
cool in a way. I
Right,
think.
right. I think that was a
Uh,
little bit of the idea, but we could try, I don't know, try 100%, try 90%, see what it looks like.
this may be cool in a way how you had it.
Let's try like 90. Maybe it was like a little too much.
yeah.
Yeah, 90 might be the right vibe. Alright, that's cool.
Won't mess with that at all. Or you want to kind of keep that same text weight.
I like the lighter weight, or try. You could try light. I think I messed with this a bunch, and the regular looked the cutest. That looks a little heavy.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think this is good for what
Yeah,
trying to go for. It's like disappearing a little bit.
yeah.
Um,
Okay.
mhm.
All right. So should we try slapping some text on some of these other ones and see how it looks?
Yeah. Let's do that. I don't know why this keeps disappearing. This is a weird override.
Okay.
You see that? What's going on?
Huh.
Reset all changes. Reset all changes. Okay. All
There
right.
you go. See. Yeah, and this one's title case with exclamation point at the end. Yeah. All right. Well, let's see bottom left. Let's see how that. Oh, where were you gonna go with that? That's kind of cool. Interesting.
I was thinking like right here.
Yeah,
But
that's kind of tight. That is a good call. All right, yeah. So you don't even have to go necessarily in the top or bottom row. Okay, like that. What if we? All right, let's just see it in the same row, but on the left side. Oh, interesting. So you're going to the top of the bottom row. That's okay. Hmm. What do you think? Which of those two?
get rid of these lines. Oh, there's something about when someone's pointing that kind
Mm,
of
yeah.
the directionality that had me thinking like kind of
Right. Right. It's competing. The finger is telling you
Yeah,
to look one place, and the beginning of the text is telling you to look somewhere else.
yeah, I think that's kind of what I was thinking, but it doesn't look bad compositionally either. So, um,
Turn the grid back on for a second. What if you put the exclamation, like, what if you moved it up a row and to the right? It's kind of like weird that it's covering her, but then like, and you move it all the way to the rightmost, like right on, yeah. So it's like she's pointing at the exclamation point.
yeah, that's kind of cool.
Because that addresses your competing, oh, okay, that's kind of tight, dude. Interesting. I like it. Let's just see it on one row again, but kind of same. Like just yeah, delete the line break. Yeah, and
I keep hitting the show grid hotkey.
yeah, yeah, that's the thing with doing something. Yeah, I see that kind of covers her face. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. What of all these did you like?
I think maybe. Let me see.
Yeah, what about that?
I think maybe something like that is
Yeah,
what I'm.
you're not covering her face.
Yeah. Oh, I think I like that.
Yeah. All right. That's cool. So, I mean, the cool thing about this is it's so easy to mess around with different options.
Right.
All right, should we call that one for now and then just like kind of set up the other ones and then
Hmm.
we can see that? Now this one's interesting because it has a lot of text. Actually, there's even more. There's a subtitle. So you see how it's like ultra thin and then
Hmm.
heavy.
And what font is this? Is that Helvetica? Looks
Helvetica
like it.
Neue, which I believe is not available in Figma. So that's another. I chose Open Sans here. Oh, what? Wait, how do you have that? I don't have that in mine.
I might have it system. I'm not
Uh,
sure.
but I have it system also. It's so.
But then I are you in the Figma desktop app
Oh no, I'm in the Figma web app.
and like in browser?
Yeah. Hang on. Let me see.
Yeah,
Let
I
me see if
got
I
you.
pick up
Is
that
it?
Helvetica. No, I got your. I mean, whatever you did enabled it for me.
Can you edit it?
Whoops. Shit. Oh, the following fonts are not available. Choose replacement fonts. No, I can't edit it.
Yeah. So if you get the desktop app, it'll enable your system fonts, and then
Okay.
you should be able to.
Wait.
But you could just use
Okay.
normal Helvetica for now.
But is even normal Helvetica in?
That should be. You should have that if you're on a Mac, even in browser. I think.
No, no. So just go back to Helvetica Neue
Okay.
and assume that if the reality is I'm not going to edit this text.
Okay.
Let's just do it in Helvetica Neue, and if I do want to edit it, I will. Shit, what happened to your? Can you reshare screen? Somehow, I think I turned that off. Are you still sharing? I think I accidentally turned off your screen share. Yeah, there we go. Cool. Yeah, let's just kind of set it up the way it is in that thumbnail, and assume if I want to edit this text, I will get the I'll get the desktop app. How did you get the?
I
Was
got this thing. It's what's this thing called? Text Sniper,
tight, dude. Fuck yeah,
and then it just loads up here.
that's awesome. I think it's bold. Yeah. I think it's yeah, bold. Yeah. That is annoying that that grid doesn't size properly.
Yeah, we could make these bigger and use an
Yeah,
open
yeah.
grid.
I think that's
Yeah,
the move of it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we could do something like this.
Tight. I kind of like seeing this staff pic next to all my videos. I see. That's cool. Yeah, I think that looks cool. Let's size up this image slightly, just so that see how that white thing is. It makes it look like a lollipop on the left. Let's just size this up so
Oh
the
yeah.
thing isn't coming right out of the center of the uh, staff pick.
Oh, what am I selecting? Here we go.
Yeah, and then. Hmm. But what if we bring it all the way, align the right side of this image to the frame? Yeah, I think that might be a little bit better. What do you think of that composition?
I do like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's useful to have these little, context things here, because like I've never have seen that.
Yeah. Yeah, it is super useful.
Yeah.
Um, I'll just show you a quick trick in case um, you find yourself in this situation, because it does happen, like where you kind of say you wanted to frame this right here, but you're missing
Yeah.
um, some space. Like what you can do sometimes is just create um,
Oh.
let's see, a gradient that goes from like black to black,
Oh.
but transparent or whatever color.
Oh. Sick.
And then it sort of gives you some
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. That's tight.
And sometimes it's even nice if you're finding yourself on a section of the image where your text isn't quite popping
Yep.
and you just want a little more like darkness behind it, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Totally.
Um,
Yeah, I've definitely done that with the opacity, but not with the gradient. The gradient is a good call on that.
oops.
Tight. That actually is cool because it just the way that white rectangle line or trapezoid lines up with the text on the left. It's just like a nice clean
Yeah, that
vertical
looks
line
nice.
there. Uh,
There's a little room at the top to play with too. Should we bring that down?
oh yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I think that looks cool.
Yeah, that's sick, dude. Tight.
Should we grab these other ones?
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
oh, this is this one, right? It just
I think this could be title case. Actually, I mean, it doesn't really matter for this one. Whatever you think looks good, title case or all lowercase. I'm indifferent to that. How did you do that? Resize the frame to the text width.
so you have a couple options for text frames here.
Oh,
This is like for a single line with the auto width. With auto height, you can just set the width and it wraps to however long it needs to go.
okay.
And then the standard, I guess, is just like a fixed
Manual.
size all around.
Okay.
And
Tight.
that's could be helpful if you want to like center something in a space.
Yeah. Okay.
Um, so it's these three icons under. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. And so for this, you want one line, so auto width. See.
Yeah, and you can still in auto with like insert a manual line break if you
Right.
want, and that kind of stuff.
If you're gonna have line breaks, how do you coordinate that with the grid? Do you just eyeball it, or is there like a rule of thumb in terms of like I don't know how to set
Yeah,
it?
so often there's you know type inside a piece of type. It doesn't need to conform to the grid.
Okay.
Um, Now for a document or something, there's a whole system for setting that up with the baseline grid where your line heights. Wow, actually, it kind of matched up here, huh?
Wow.
Um,
Yeah, nailed it.
where your line heights here are equal to the size of the baseline grid or whatever your
Which is
standard.
the height of the row or whatever.
Yeah, so
Okay.
like if you have a long piece of text set
Yeah.
at where your line height is like 14, that's kind of defines the baseline grid.
Okay.
And yeah, for something like this where it's just one piece of text, it's not really that important. But for like a long document, there's a lot of ways that you're supposed to work with the confines of that, like what's
Mhm.
called vertical rhythm and stuff. So like if you had that value 14 pixels, and you can make sure all the like pictures and stuff in your accompanying text are multiples of that.
Yeah.
Your headings and stuff take up that, but for here, yeah, it's pretty flexible.
Okay.
I think you could set different cases here, but it might get some stuff wrong. Like if you could do it manually too.
Right.
Like should in be capitalized here?
No. No. Yeah. I kind of like the. I don't know. What do you think? Title case or all lower? Yeah, let's try title case, I guess. Oh, that T should not be capitalized. I don't
This
think.
one.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
think so. That's a cool picture of Rob.
I was gonna ask, guys. Oh, that's funny.
Should we just reset? Should we just go to the grid? Should we do that? Investment.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Because I guess the reality is, even if we don't resize the other thing, we're probably going to be looking at this one when
Yeah,
we're using the grid. So just having them both can't hurt.
that's true. That is true. Okay, that is better. And so you can use what is it? Control G.
Yeah. Tight.
Yeah, that's nice.
Should we make that a different color? The grid?
Yeah, so you should be able to do that here.
Sick. All right. Yeah. All right. Now we got our hotkey because I'm all about optimizing for the hotkeys, dude.
Yeah, gotta. So let's see. 3840 divided by, yeah, I'm gonna try to scale this up by that much. And then,
Oh, nice. Tight. Um, good use of math there.
yeah, like you said, yeah, it's like that important to have the grid on these. So if it's helpful for you to just have this smaller as a thumbnail, you can always just shrink it down, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Um, okay, so nice. there's lots of spaces. It was looking good, so you can hit Command while you're doing this, and that just crops the image.
Right. That's not a bad idea, like punching in a little bit. It's cool.
Yeah, what do you think of something like that?
Yeah, that's cool.
There's a little something weird happening with since the thes are.
Yeah, that is a little weird. What if we do all one line across the bottom and like make the? Oh, that's interesting. Oh, I see. That's a good call. I kind of like that actually. Yeah, that's tight. Yeah. Well, and that kind of chunks the text the way that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think we should actually adjust the gutters on this
Okay.
row on these rows, and have the margin be more similar to this margin. Let's
Okay.
see what that looks like.
Oh, I see.
Because right now that is right up against what we called our other kind of safe zone for the um that Vimeo bar.
Yeah.
Uh, let's try putting it exactly the same. See if that looks cool.
I think you only moved the bottom one. Yeah. Oh, tight. Okay. That's kind of cool because it also nicely aligns with that diagonal line of the burnt piece of paper.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That is nice. Like that.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's cool. Fortuitous.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that.
Yeah,
How do you like that?
yeah, I like that.
Awesome. Um,
The top right one there. Yeah. Oh yeah, you already got the thumbnail. How did you drag that one into the other guy? Did you have to do any hotkey there?
I did the alt. It makes your cursor like that, and then that dupes it,
Uh huh.
and then Figma just automatically um
I see.
can tell you're trying to move it into this frame, but
Okay.
it doesn't
And is
always
that a
work.
frame thing, or will that work with like I don't know if it was like just a photo or a rectangle.
It's a frame thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
cool.
So yeah, I wonder with this. I see on your
Yeah,
original, you kind of had this as a smaller text up
yeah,
here.
yeah.
Mhm.
And then all,
And this all caps and everything.
yeah.
Okay.
So to do different text treatments, right, you need to make two independent elements, or can you just?
For size, you don't have to. Sometimes it's a bit easier, but sometimes
Okay,
it doesn't really matter.
gotcha. Yeah, I think the bottom part is a different weight also. Yeah, that looks closer. What if we make it slightly smaller so the S doesn't go quite so much onto the mattress? Yeah, that might just make it pop a little more.
Hmm.
I guess we could also like bump around the image a little bit too. Like maybe bring it, yeah, down and right a little bit just to get it off of that white package too.
Okay, I'm gonna do something. Drop this to its bounds.
Yeah, nice. Oh, that's kind of interesting.
Wonder if it's interesting to have it all the way on the sidewalk like that.
Yeah, I like seeing the little, I don't know, that bridge or whatever it is in the background.
Hmm.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's a little more, I don't know. It makes it feel more desolate to me to see a little more depth.
Yep. Hmm. That's
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 kind
pretty
of cool.
cool.
Yeah, I like
Yeah.
that.
This is like.
I like where the S lands on the bag there. You know how it's not, there's nothing white behind the stories S or the S at the very end, you know?
Hmm.
I mean,
The other
it's a little bit hard to read the telling, but I think it's legible. You know, it's like it's not the most legible, but I don't think it's an issue.
other thing you have options is like I wonder if
Um,
darkening it just a
yeah,
little bit.
yeah,
I
that's
don't know if that's what do you think about that?
yeah. Actually, look, the image looks better there with because it's actually made it a little more contrast with that shadow under the, see that shadow in the middle? Or sorry, the
Yeah.
ray of sunlight in the middle. I
Hmm.
like how that pops more with the exposure. bump down. That's cool. How did you get the? That's just image properties,
Yeah, double click. What is it? Yeah, double click in there, or you can do it up here.
right? That's cool. Yeah, good call on that. Sick. Good. The only one I'm skeptical about now is I feel like the Super Diva one. I'm still I don't know. Should we try
Hmm.
building it down one row and just see how that looks?
Yeah, I think you're right. Now that we've got the other ones, that's a little. Um, yeah,
Yeah, I think that looks better. Yeah.
I'm with you. Yeah.
Dude, this is dope. Fucking nice. This looks really sick, man.
Oh, the other thing I could say, well, I don't know how useful this would be because you got some different text styles. But sometimes if you're using some text a bunch and you just want to like mess with it, you can make it into a text style here
Oh, I
and
see.
then reuse that. Um, It'd be helpful. Like I'm thinking like I just kind of want to play with and then just break it out of the style. Oh yes, it does. Okay, so it's not that helpful because it doesn't play nicely with the scale feature.
Okay. Okay.
Um, but I was gonna say when you do that, and you can like play with something like the text spacing and stuff in one
Yeah.
place. It can be nice, but I'm gonna do that for now.
Yeah, I'm not super worried about like messing around with the like I feel like copying and pasting the text spacing or whatever. I can I can live with that.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
The other thing that might be helpful, I don't necessarily see it in these, but sometimes when you're overlaying text, is the layer blurs is nice sometimes.
Oh yeah, I would love to just see what you mean by that.
In here under effects, there's like layer blur,
Okay.
um, and then like certain text, like certain areas, sometimes it's helpful to just like it makes the text pop. Um, it's
What is
not
that
great.
actually doing technically?
It's like applying a Gaussian blur, I think, to the
Oh, to
image.
what everything underneath it?
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Gotcha.
Um, Actually, yes. So there is a background blur that you can do. You can use, I think, to like selectively do that if you just wanted to lose some fidelity, like here. Let's see.
Oh,
You could do background blur. Or no. Oh,
no.
interesting. You need like
I see. I see. I see. Hmm. Hmm. That's interesting.
yeah. I mean, it's a little too much there, but if you just want to like take out some of the detail there,
Uh-huh. That's
um, that could be helpful.
tight.
You see the difference there?
Yeah. That's cool. This looks great, man.
Yeah. Um, I actually do have to jump it a
Yeah,
little.
yeah. Yeah, but we can call it. This was really freaking helpful.
Yeah, man. So are these let's see, 3840. Okay, so these are the right size for export if you just export, boom. Yep.
Right.
And then if you wanted to do, I already forget what the YouTube one was. Was it 1280? Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you could just go in here and add another one
That's like half X or
and
something.
do you can actually just set the width and
Oh,
it'll scale it. So do the 1280 width and
cool.
make like the suffix like
Yeah.
YouTube and then it'll export both for you. Yeah.
Tight. Oh yeah. Sick. And so now that's done on the primary, all the other ones will have those export options?
Oh, that I don't think so. No.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
But I'll just do it to all of them, and then if I duplicate,
Yeah, you could select them at once
oh, cool.
and yeah, add those.
Sick.
Hold 80W.
Sick.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is nice.
Awesome, man. Well, yeah, you can always at me in here if you want. I think you just do yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sick, dude.
If something's not um working right or something, yeah, just pop in there and hit me up.
Cool, man. Yeah, this is dope. Yeah, I'll take a look through this, and I don't know, maybe I'll throw this on YouTube just in case people want to watch it. Yeah, I found it helpful.